Oh, and it looks like it's just bringing me right back in too.
Okay. Oh, good. So
So,
there won't
yeah,
be like a
yep,
glitch on
yep,
your side.
Yeah, just as long as he can sign in. Seems
Okay.
like that's gonna be.
Can we send him a quick message to say sign?
Yeah, I can give him another, it should be the same link too, because I opened up the same.
Try signing back
I'll let him get
on
back in.
if you would be so kind. Okay. I hate
That's super bizarre.
tech failures.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
But this is still streaming, so if we want to keep this going.
Okay.
Oh, we're back.
Sorry, literally just brought.
Oh, good, we're back.
After technical,
I know.
she'll break.
Hopefully our guest, Dr. Kaplan, will rejoin us. If not, we're gonna rebook him for
Another
4
time,
weeks.
so yeah.
I'm the producer of the show.
Hopefully
No, I'll
it'll-
call Ben and we'll get him back. But no, I mean, really what a fascinating guest, and once again to dig in and to write that book.
I want to
and
hear more details about
I
this
do
book.
too.
I'd
I
like
do
to
too,
ask you
because
more
listen, a
questions
book
about the
that thick has got to have a lot of discussion about individual patients and
I
you
thought, yeah,
know,
like
yeah.
what is he seeing for like trends and stuff? I'm sure he's seen them, so it's kind of.
listen, what I would suspect, and not to put words in his mouth, of course, but I mean, we know what goes on. We discussed it with our research friends yesterday.
But that's why I wonder if
It's
it's any
empowerment.
different. But I wonder
I
if
do
it's
too.
different from like is it consistent? From state to state and patient to patient, no matter what.
That's what I was trying to get to,
Yeah.
because as you do go to a legal adult use system, we want to make sure that we don't lose the quality, of our cannabis products and
And
the whole bit.
So I'm
That
glad
can
that
happen. We know it's happened in other states.
But I'm glad Massachusetts, at least, like I have to say, they're pretty good. Like, so the medical.
Well, they have the job protections.
They have job
the workplace
protections, which is amazing. And
It's
then
gonna take years to get that in Florida.
Florida, I don't see that coming. So, and I just like the fact that, the medical and the recreational, at least the cannabis is the same. So it's both tested and kept to a higher standard, which is important for everybody's safety as a whole.
And we got to guarantee that as we go forward. I tell
Yeah.
everybody it's always a quality, type of discussion. As long as Dr. Kaplan's not with us right now, let's talk Florida politics. Called a special session, I see.
Oh, so we have to talk about the Florida report
Please.
on cannabis. So
Oh,
this annual report that comes out about our industry and our physicians and what we do with our patients and who the outliers are and who plays fair in the ball, who does things correctly. So yesterday we got this report and some of the outliers.
What's the peer review? It's the yearly
peer review.
pattern review, right?
Yeah, that comes down from the Office of
Right.
Medical Marijuana, where they run all their statistics on all the physicians.
Yep.
And interestingly enough, they make a lot of their policies based off of the outliers that are in the cannabis industry, even here in Florida. And there's some 19 of them, perhaps.
Well, no, I mean,
Or
listen,
more.
the numbers are interesting. The numbers are
numbers
right
are
out there.
out
We've
there.
always
They're way out
known
there.
that the numbers
Way
were, always out there. Early on in reports, we were one of the unidentified, top
But the
performers
Okay, but it does.
in the state, quote unquote. But now, actually,
It's very worrisome.
it's different.
because-
It's different now.
But why
Things have
do we
changed.
target? This is the thing. I don't understand. If you're an organization that's running statistics, why wouldn't you look at the outliers? Because the outliers are the ones that are the problem children, rather than coming down with like an iron fist on the entire industry.
Awesome.
Right? Like, why would you do that? And
Right.
I don't understand the legislators here
I know.
who make those decisions based not on the outliers for the entire industry.
Right.
Meanwhile, the mean of the whole industry is doing
Yeah.
things
Well,
properly.
we'll do
So
that
it's
next week's
crazy.
screen room.
It drives
Dr.
me
Kaplan
nuts.
back with us? Yes.
Yes.
Boy,
I'm here, yeah.
Yay.
Awesome. No,
That's
listen.
some technology that works.
No, in 150 green rooms,
We
we've
haven't
never
this. This
had
is the
that
first for
happen.
us. Yeah, we're like, what?
And I hate computers, they run our
Yeah.
lives way too much. So I'm so glad you were back to join us. What I really wanted to make sure that our listeners got at least a little bit of out of you was your experience and really what you've seen as
Yeah,
making an
any
impact in your
trends,
practice.
like anything that you've seen as a pattern, like with certain illnesses or anything like that? Have you seen any of that?
I have seen patterns. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what the book is sort of filled with. And I think if we were talking about sleep, the question, have I seen my patients who sleep well get better? Of course, it's across the board. Anybody who sleeps and treats their body well gets better. I think as we enjoy life more, as we feel more calm, as we sleep better, as we live in the moment more, there's more joy and pleasure and healing that happens in that space. So there's very little which I've not seen cannabis help with.
Do you think it becomes like almost like a more holistic approach where you're looking at, like you said, I think the body, a lot of times stress does numbers to the body. So if you're less stressed, obviously you'll have other effects that go down in your body that, perhaps your blood pressure will be lower, you'll eat better, you'll exercise more. So do you think it's like a whole transition of like, somebody's well-being in the sense of they're trying to fix everything at the same time, like a more holistic approach to that with a cannabis, and it kind of has like a rolling effect?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good analogy actually, is, the other side of the coin of stress. If stress makes everything worse, is, the endocannabinoid system makes everything better. And whether it's better on a local level because nerve signals are being dampened, or at a systemic level because the body's just feeling more at peace and calm and equanimous, so sort of not imbalanced. Different strokes, different folks. I think certain people are primed to feel better with either local relief or systemic relief, and I think also certain products connect with people differently. So as Barry was saying earlier, it's a huge complex puzzle. And my job and Barry's job is to help people fit together what their experience is, what the product offers, and to match the two.
So when you see a patient, I'm just curious, a cannabis patient that comes to your practice, do you do like routine follow-ups with them, or like does your pattern of care or how you treat the patient change at all with a cannabis patient?
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, so the pattern doesn't change from family medicine. I still treat people like they're real people that change over time. I have two practices. I have one practice which is a old-fashioned, doctor-patient relationship where, of course, I'm following with people throughout the year. I have some patients I see every month. I also have a digital practice. I have a digital platform that I've built called EO Care. EO allows people to profile who they are. It understands where they're coming from, what their needs are, and then gives them not only access to specific recommendations for product, but actually supplies a detailed care plan that's matched to their schedule. And
that in the bio that, right. I mean, you're looking to the future, of course. Listen, you're a young man in the biz and I'm not, but you listen, cannabis, it's interesting. I look at it, we've been doing it for 6 or 7 years, and I know how different it is now for me than it was 7 years ago. I know exponentially it's going to be different 7 years from now. We're going to know more. There will have been research. There'll have been some type of federal changes with rescheduling or descheduling. The only thing you know for sure is that change will occur. And I read about EO and I'm interested in it. And, those type of, I fear maybe one of the unintended consequences, Ben, of rescheduling into 3. There may be a practice standard, quote unquote, set up for medical cannabis practice, that there would be for other quote unquote drugs,
But do you have that? It sounded like you already set some protocols, like, have you?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are lines in the sand, but they can easily be crossed, and different clinicians are going to practice differently based on their experience and based on the patient in front of them. I think standards are okay. I think I don't think there's going to be strict mandates for how people practice. But I am also curious to see what actually works. And one of the things that EO does is learn from the patient population. And the CEO, the ex-CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield is on our board. We're in active discussions about engaging the insurance companies and helping them see it's safer for people. They're going to save money. It's a win-win opportunity. There's no reality where cannabis is mainstream and not part of insurance, normal care coverage.
Well, they care a lot more about number 2 than they do about number 1, Ben. That's for sure. Number 2 would have been the saving of the money.
Yeah.
No, seriously. I mean, pharma's pharma.
Yeah.
And listen, we just have to manage pharma as far as I'm concerned. I'm all about them doing the research on the individual cannabinoids, but then let my botany guys know so that they can, go ahead and breed those specific cannabinoids and terpenes and flavonoids into my plants, So the
Yeah,
mycology-
I think actually,
Yeah.
Barry, it's not that simple though. I think it's not even one plant for one person over time, and it's certainly not one plant for a group of people. I think we have to develop a new model of how medicine works. It's not one pill for one ill.
Absolutely.
It's how do we learn about an individual, see what their needs are, and adapt products or different products over time to their evolving needs. And that's the complex puzzle. I think that doctors might have to relinquish some control and let patients feel empowered over their own experience.
Listen, we knew that. Well, I told patients that 5 years ago. Okay, you're going to be walking into the most interesting environments you've ever had healthcare wise, because I'm going to empower you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to educate you. Doctors hate giving up control and power. It's one of the most difficult things that doctors have when they enter medical cannabis practice. It's not about that. My patients will not reduce their medicines because I want them to. They're going to reduce their medicines because of their own motivation. We're just the educators about it. And if you don't respect the patients enough to educate them, and that means you don't respect the plant enough to know about what the plant can do. The plant has always been medicine.
Like, I think like the future, like the way I see the future, at least with all the information we're able to get now in genetic testing and being able to predict like what cancers a patient may have or
Absolutely
predisposed to, I have a feeling that eventually it's going to come down to, even with cannabis, like it's going to be genetically be able to.
That's the exponential. That's the exponential. Bring on that research. Let's find out more. You know,
because I think it's going to be genetically like predisposed that this one plant may work with you this way.
Well, we know that already to a certain extent. We just haven't hammered it down.
No, but I think eventually it will be that, okay, in your profile, we'll know exactly what works best out of, which THC levels, which everything.
The other thing we know about the green room is time goes fast. I know both probably you and I have patience. So give us one more good promo on your book.
And then please come back.
Yeah, well, you need to have it back because
get the book and I want to read it and then I want to have a discussion after I read the book.
Yeah, no, I think, the thread through all of this is knowledge and understanding what someone is doing, what they're going through and where they want to be. In my view, knowledge really is power. And that's the whole point of the doctor approved cannabis handbook, is to give people the keys to their own health. So for people who are interested, it's on Amazon, it's on, at Target and Walmart, everywhere books are sold.
Awesome.
Random House is distributing it across North America. The numbers are pretty great. People are already really liking it. And I'm available online for people that have questions. Everybody can reach me at my website, benjaminkaplan.com.
And he's got a great Twitter feed because I follow it, right? Or X feed, whatever the heck they call it.
Yeah. What's your website?
Sorry, benjaminkaplan.com. And then for people that want to look up the book, it's kaplancannabis.com. Kaplan is with a C. I'm also, as Barry said, I'm on Twitter. If anybody wants to reach me, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. It's at Dr. Kaplan, DrCaplan.
Awesome.
And if you're on tour and you're ever in Florida, we will welcome you.
For sure. No. Absolutely.
Thank you.
We'd love to host you at a book signing and all that. That would be awesome. So we'll stay in touch,
Yeah, no, of course. We're always around. And for people out there who are in a leadership role, if they'd like to have bulk discounts for the book, those are available. Just reach out to me.
Oh, even better.
Awesome.
Yeah. That might be something the consortium might want.
That may.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, thanks for appearing in the green room. Sorry about the glitch. Don will edit it out and I'll
love to have you
post it
back.
up later.
Sounds great.
I would love to. It'd be great.
Sounds great.
Right,
Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it.
Peace to everybody up there in Maine and everywhere else.
And see everyone next week. Take care, everyone. Have a good week.